So you guys ask me all the time, what should I be doing in my 20s? What should I be doing in my 30s? What should I be doing in my 40s? Well, lucky for you, I have office staff in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and for them, cost is no object. They work at the candy store and they have a relatively unlimited budget of what they can get, right?
Yep.
For the most part.
That's great.
And so if cost is no object, which I know it's not for most people, but let's pretend, what would you do in your 20s? What would you do in your 30s? What would you do in your 40s? We're gonna borrow some of my staff who have been here for a few years and show you where they started, where they're going, and how they look, and we'll talk about what you did. So, Joni.
Yes.
How many years have you been here?
It'll be 7 in September.
7 years in September.
I got the 7-year itch now.
That's right. Okay, so how old were you when you began working here?
36.
Okay, 36 plus 7.
43.
43. Okay, so she's 43 now. So I'm going to show you guys on screen, but Joni hasn't seen these yet. So what I'm going to show you guys are 3 pictures where they're side to side matched up of Joni when she started working here and Joni about a year ago is the most recent photos I have. But this is Joni as she looks right now.
IRL, in real life.
IRL, but I want you to see what she looks like, and then we'll talk about the things you've had done, what you notice when you look at the pictures. Okay. So let's just jump right into the photos. Okay. The first one I'm going to show her is her 3/4 view. You guys are seeing it on screen right now, and I think that is the most telling view. If you got one shot, one glance at somebody that shows everything, it's the 3/4 view. All right, so let's go back to Joni's face. Joni, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, take a look.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, I had room for improvement for sure.
What are you feeling when you see those pictures?
Well, I feel like my brow is heavy. My face is full. There's not a lot of contour, and then my lips are tiny.
So, personal question: have you lost any weight between those 2 pictures? Probably a little, right?
Yeah, but not like anything dramatic. Nothing like 40 or 50 pounds or anything like that.
Yeah, so would you say most of the volume changes are from what we did here at the office?
Yeah, for sure.
So let's start with that part.
Okay.
Volume-wise, what have you had added and what have you had subtracted?
Well, surgical and non-surgical.
Yeah, let's start with non-surgical.
Non-surgical, added lip filler, obviously, which is one of my favorite things.
And have you had top lip, bottom lip, or both?
Both. Okay. But I've done it over many years. So I didn't just go from like 0 to what I have now. I've built them over time. And I still think they look appropriate for like my face and my overall look.
You have a kind of voluptuous build. You can carry out voluptuous lips.
Yes.
If you were, one of our stick people, it would look.
Yeah, it would look unbalanced.
Yeah,
that'd look a little crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I mean, I've had the buccal fat taken out, which has added contour to my cheeks. Yeah. I have had a little bit of outer cheek filler, but I don't feel like I really noticed a whole lot from that. But...
So you've had buccal fat taken out, which is what brings this contour in, which you can see again on the 3/4 view really well. A little bit of filler added to your cheek. Filled the lip a little bit. What about the lower face jawline?
So with my neck lift, I had filler or my own fat placed in the pre-jowl sulcus, which is that area.
The little dent in front of the jowl we call the pre-jowl sulcus, and we recycled some of your. How many years has it been? 4 years since your neck lift?
4 in October.
Yeah, almost 4 years since her neck lift, and it's holding up great. We built fat into this area. We subtracted some fat from your jowl. At that same time. Took your buccal fat out at that same time. And this was one of the deep neck lifts with no ear incisions, only under the chin and inside the mouth.
Botox, of course. So I treat the frown, a little forehead. I did my crow's for a while, but I felt like it made my smile look a little weird or not as friendly, so I kind of don't do that as much anymore. But I feel like for maintenance-wise, just doing my frown and a little forehead has really helped like smooth lines. I don't have any resting lines, so. Yeah,
and the smile, that's an interesting point because frown lines, no one likes frown lines, but a little bit of crinkle when you smile can actually look really warm and friendly, and like you can connect with people. So I actually agree with you. Like I don't treat my smile lines either.
No, and if I do, it's very high because I think it's just friendlier.
Yeah, and so Botox wise, you treat your frown, tiny bit in the forehead, mostly skip your crow's feet. Do you get any Botox in the lower face?
No, I have a couple times for like the chin dimpling, and that's about it. I don't think I'd get Botox anywhere else.
Okay.
I tried my bunnies, but that didn't like seem to work or last, so I skipped it.
Yeah. And then fillers wise, we said you got a little in the cheek, a little in the lip, and then all the rest of this living.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I haven't needed any here or any here up to this point, so.
Yeah. And then she's got a younger, oilier skin type and a little bit of a fuller face. They don't tend to collapse in this area as much as someone with a thinner, drier skin type and real empty tissues. This was the deep neck lift, which you're one of my best ever. It's holding up great. As a matter of fact, let's turn. Take a look at that.
Jeesh. Yeah.
So this is the deep neck lift side view that we're looking at, side view, chin down. What else do you see? What all do you see in that picture?
Well, I see a lot of what I call my chubba chub. That's all gone. And then I notice the buccal fat just because I had it done, but it makes such a difference. And
we should talk about your brows too, actually. Speaking of brows, so non-surgically.
Oh yeah, microblading by Brittany. So I had my brows done, which when you're blondie, and plus your brows frame your face. Brows are super important, so highly recommend.
Yeah, and I think you might see that actually really well. Here's the front view. So tell me what you see and feel when you look at the front view.
Oh, I look more balanced. That looks more like heavy, full, not bad, but that just looks like chic, refined. Yeah.
Yeah, I think refined is the word. It's like optimized, balanced, refined.
The best of what we're working with. Best of what I got.
So cost-wise, in this kind of era where we are now, this will change over time, obviously.
Oh, and my neck wrinkles.
Yeah.
That is a big one.
The neck wrinkles got a lot better just from the lift, didn't they?
Yeah.
So she's talking about the tech neck. And so I honestly don't believe there's a good treatment for tech neck that is not surgery. So the tech neck, I have a pretty good wrinkle right down here. It is bound to the tissues underneath. You can kind of see it move. Can you see that move?
Oh yeah. It looks bad.
So it really, if you're gonna improve that, it's got to be released from the tissues underneath. And then even then it's just improved. It's not totally fixed. So I wouldn't do a neck lift on someone just for tech neck, but it's a good side effect of doing a neck lift that they otherwise need anyway.
Yeah, and I can tell in that picture that, it's softened a lot.
Yeah. So cost-wise these days, so filler ranges, what, $700-ish per syringe, with multiple syringe discounts. The average set of lips, 1 to 2 syringes initially, and then maybe a syringe every year or 2. You don't need nearly as much or as frequently as we used to think.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is, it's like, oh, well, it's been a year, I need filler. I think it's important to wait till you really need it versus like, oh, the time's up or something like that.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with time. It's more to do with shape.
Right. Oh, I had my tear troughs done.
Oh, let's see if it doesn't really show up in this picture because this is a flashed picture, but yeah, the tear troughs, I forgot about that.
And that has lasted. I have only had one touch up in 7 years, so for whatever reason, I've retained that, and I think it still looks good, and I don't need a lower left yet.
Yeah. Cost-wise, also Botox, it's in the range of $250 to $700 per treatment, which I know is a big range, but it really depends on how much of the face are you treating. If it's just the crow's feet, might be $250. If it's the crow's feet and frown lines, it might be $500-600. If it's all 3 areas, including the forehead, you might be into the $700 range, roughly. Cheeks, again, $700 to $900 a syringe, roughly in that area. And it usually takes 2 or 3 to do a nice job on cheeks.
And then you have to, it's good to wait a couple weeks to have everything balance out before you're like, I need more.
Yeah. So I think the second picture on all these, kind of the bottom picture, the word I would use is just balanced and optimized. So I think, again, my favorite view is a 3/4. And if you look at her 3/4, you can see the apple of her cheek with a beautiful contour underneath and then a crisp jawline, beautiful brows to frame the upper face. The kind of little bit of frowniness is gone. Skin-wise, what are you doing for your skin?
So I'm using retinol renewal pads, Koji pads. I use our good facial washes. I use like a more gentle, just because I like that for myself. And then what else? All the good moisturizers. So I do have the benefit of, having unlimited supply of really good skincare. So those are the big ones, retinol renewal. And I love Epion's, all their products, but our Avani line, I really like those because I feel like those hit harder in the just keeping your overall skin looking good.
Good. Well, thank you for doing this for everybody.
Yeah.
So guys, that was late 30s into early 40s for an oilier skin type, because this is going to be totally different if I have a drier skin type person or a darker skin type person. So beautiful blue eyes, icy blue stare if she's mad at you. Fair skin type, oilier skin type, late 30s to early 40s. If you have any questions, feel free to DM them in or put them in the comments below. Thanks.
Peace out.